Hello, this is Breakfast with Charlie State and Susanna Reid.
An end to high charges for paying with plastic. Good morning, it's Friday the 23rd of December.
Also ahead, an inquiry into the way a murder case was handled results in 4 senior police officers being investigated after allegations of misconduct. 7 this morning.
If you're struggling with the scissors, tape and Christmas paper, we've got a few tips from the world's best wrapper of paper, that is.
Yeah, Jay-Z's not coming into breakfast this morning. And Carol has the weather.
Once again, it will be mild.
Carol, thank you.
Richard Lloyd, Executive Director of the Which Consumer Campaign Group.
Now, it's emerged that 4 senior police officers are under investigation over allegations of misconduct. The allegations relate to a gangland killing which was investigated by Staffordshire Police, where the 4 officers were serving at the time. None of the officers has been suspended. The French government will announce today whether it will pay for 30,000 women with faulty breast implants to have them removed. The implants made by the French firm PIP were banned last year after they were found to contain a non-medical grade of silicone. The UK's medicines watchdog says there's no evidence that they're unsafe. Today is expected to be the busiest of the festive getaway. Millions of us are likely to take to the roads, the airports and rail in a dash to get to our destinations in time for Christmas. And our reporter Alex.
Now, the cyclist Mark Cavendish has been named as the BBC Sports Personality of the Year.
Yes, in last night's public vote, he beat the golfer Darren Clarke, who came second, and the athlete Mo Farah, who came in third.
Of his stuff.
Well, do you remember he quoted George Orwell? I've got a couple here. In times of universe. So there's a bit of art, a bit of literature in there.
Yeah.
So he's the Twitter of the year.
Very good. Right, 3 to follow then.
Yes.
This morning, if you are. Did you see the lenticular clouds, Carol?
They fabulous. They're such a gorgeous shape. Do you know, a lot of people in the olden days thought that they were associated with UFOs, especially at night when you had a certain kind of light coming through them. They're that kind of shape, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't know if we might be able to have another look at them as you're talking there, because as you say, Mike said that, they have that sort of look like they're structured.
There's some rain around, and the rain is actually going to stay with us.
Carol, thank you very much.
Thanks, Carol. Now, if you've braved the crowds of shoppers and covered the tree with tinsel, you're thinking about how to make those goodies under it look fabulous.
So, are you a dab hand at wrapping gifts, or do you need a bit of... I'd like to have seen her try and wrap a garden fork.
Is that what you've got for someone this Christmas?
No, I'm just thinking, you know, awkward things.
Yeah.
But I know what she'd do. She'd do it, but, you know, she'd just kind of cover the whole thing up so you can't tell.
Or the other tip I've heard is bubble wrap. If you bubble wrap something first, then, of course, it's easier to... Or you could just stick it in the garden and put a ribbon on it. Right, 26 minutes past 6, getting the family together for Christmas, always a challenge, but when you finally do, what's morning?
Administration charges, can't they? And then it can carry on just the same.
Good morning.
Did you wrap all these, Carol, all these presents here? Did you do these yourself?
I did. Look at my fingernails. They're all full of presents for you,
busy.
Charlie. Sorry, Susanna. Yours is in a big truck outside.
I can't wait to see him open them all.
Yikes, I think I'll leave the building. Miles.
Carol, thank you very much.
That not only should companies be transparent about it, but they should only charge what is entirely out of proportion. So you will still go into your local newsagent paying with a debit and credit card. It could still be charged 20 potential problems.
It was 6 weeks after my surgery that was available, as far as I was concerned.
Now, you're left in this curious position. I mean, so you now have the implants are still within your body.
Do you want to have them taken out?
Yes.
Oh, and can you get that done? If we should say, you know, that the Medicines Healthcare Regulatory Agency says there's nothing to worry about, Department of Health say implants are safe and that...
Thank you for your time this morning.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
OK, 19 minutes past 7.
Let's see what's come up on the programme.
Oh, here's Carol.
Thank you, Susanna. Well, a lenticular cloud is quite rare in this country. You tend to find them abroad around high mountain ranges, for example. And what happens is stable air approaches the mountain. Charlie and Susanna, excuse me, Susanna, I got a frog in my throat. That's you. What should
The question is...
I'm looking at you because do you do the wrapping?
No, I tell you what I was doing.
Do you?
I was looking at all the presents that surround us.
You were thinking I'll just take those home with me.
Someone's been doing a lot of wrapping, but it's not easy doing wrapping, and some people are very excellent.
And put a big rosette on the top.
That would do it?
Yeah.
The problem is always finding the end of the sellotape. That's the one I find.
Yeah.
It's easy when you've got one of those fancy...
bit off like that. Yeah, I might get you one of those for Christmas.
It's like a watch. You wear it like a watch.
Exactly right, exactly. Somebody out there will have one. Coming up later on the programme, the Great Breakfast Bake-Off. Time, just doing a Paul Hollywood pause there. Time now to get the news where you are. See you in a moment. Share the jackpot.
Be a good Christmas there.
Won't it? Unless you're one of the people who
missed out,
forgot to buy your
That'd be annoying.
tickets, and you live next door to somebody
To say the least.
who's just got a huge grin on their face for the whole of next year.
How are you, Mike?
7:37. Getting the family together for Christmas, always a challenge. When you finally do, what does that typical gathering look like in 21st century Britain?
Seems any traditional picture you might have.
So with us now, Dr. Catherine Reid.
Tell you what I'm thinking. Looking at this is Baby Boo,
Yes, this
isn't
is
it? Baby, who is five months old.
On Christmas Eve, yes.
Oh, really? Now, when you have a,
Yes.
sometimes you want to be a bit selfish. I mean, you've got a new baby, you want it to be a bit special. So, you know, it takes a bit of doing that to make sure everyone is happy.
Yes.
Is it always healthy? I mean, you're saying put things to one side. Is it always healthy to try and forget? Because what can happen sometimes is you can have a bad, some situations are awkward and difficult. You know, that's the reality of things.
Absolutely.
Is it always a good thing to say, oh, it's Christmas, let's forget about it? Is there a danger that you can kind of falsely create it? Let's all get together and, the atmosphere can be a bit like, is it going to kick off or not? And is that a healthy thing to do?
People can feel left out, they can feel bad, they can feel guilt.
And Rosie, this time last year at Christmas, Boo wasn't here. And was it very different for you? Did you have a very different sort of Christmas?
And there was just the two of us, and we, hopped in the car to some that.
Does Boo not like Chinese then?
No, I don't
What's
think
the
she
problem?
likes Chinese. I think
And she's absolutely beautiful.
She's lovely.
Thank you.
Catherine, thank you very much indeed. Rosie, thank you both. And thank you, Boo. Oh.
Just doing a little bit of sick there, just to see us out.
We won't two on Boxing Day.
That's really mild, isn't it? 12 degrees.
Yes, it is for the time of the year. Absolutely.
Karen, thank you very much.
Good for going out for a nice walk after your big heavy lunch then.
I like it when it's colder though.
Do you? Sorry about that. 7:47, the Great British Bake Off is a cookery show that requires, well, a sweet tooth and some formidable talent in the kitchen.
So what happens when you take a winning TV format and mix in 4 presenters from this programme who don't do much baking? Here is the Great Breakfast Bake Off. Time now, 12 minutes past 8. Carol will be here with all the weather for you in a few minutes' time.
She will. Now, it's a frequent complaint. Why should you pay more just because you've used a credit or a debit card? Well, the government is taking action because it's announced that companies will be banned from asking their customers to pay excessive amounts to use their cards.
Yes, consumer groups had complained about the surcharges imposed by airlines, booking agencies and councils.
So let's talk to Lou.
£50 transaction. Now, they've given us a response. I think we've got that there as to how it will work.
The DVLA.
Good if you're a glider pilot, not so good if you're in a regular plane because it causes turbulence.
Oh, I don't like turbulence.
No, I don't like turbulence. And today you might find
Thank you very much. Have you done a lovely wrapping job on my Christmas present?
Gosh, Charlie, I don't know where I put it.
It's all right, you've got another day.
You'll
pressure.
be lucky. So you've probably braved the crowds of shoppers, you've put the tinsel on the tree, and now you have to spend hours doing the wrapping. Are you a dab hand, or do you need some tips? Because if you do, how handy that you're watching.
Yes, because that would be tricky.
That would be tricky. Did you buy one of those for me?
What,
It's
chandelier?
one of those wonderful chandeliers.
I usually do, yes.
That's a bit over the top, isn't it? That's very
Same
kind
every
of you.
year.
I've got a room full of them.
Coming up, BBC News Check. But right now, they'll be singing in just a moment. Time now to get the news where you are.
See you in a moment. Oh, the
competition.
most enthusiastic wave. Here's Mike with the sport. Mar baking. Mike.
Well, I didn't say...
Touch of Scrooge in the character played by our next guest this morning. Lawrence Fox plays a sleazy, selfish car dealer who decides to help a dying boy make his Christmas wish come true.
Yes, the one-off TV drama Fast, Freddy, The Widow and Me is on next Tuesday. Before we check...
So we should probably explain, Lawrence, very welcome to the programme. Lovely to see you.
Thank you.
That your sleazy car dealer has to do a little bit of community service. You can't remember what's happened in the summer because you've had episodes...
Thanks, Carol.
Now, many here in the UK may not associate Belgium with internationally successful pop music.
But Scala and Karachi brothers have become one of the country's biggest musical exports with their choral versions of well-known songs.
So we're going to meet the Stain Kalachny. Very good morning to you. Now, Lawrence Fox had come in this morning after a party, and you have come in this morning after being at a party. Of course, the sports personality of the year.
And there was...
There have been pop songs, rock songs that you've thought, oh, we couldn't do that. Go to bed now. Their album called Scala and the Flatchley Brothers is out now.
They use socks as sleeping bags and take their clothes from toys, not these guys. Use of anything they find in our homes.
We're talking about the characters from the famous book The Borrowers. Stories have entertained generations of children, and on Boxing Day, a TV version comes onto our screens.
We'll be chatting rather awkwardly in our little program. Living under the floorboards.
Yes.
Doing your thing. I mean, for those people who don't...
Searching for a kind of scientific fact that on Christmas Day, you know, the kind of traditional family image is all shaken up now.
Yeah.
Something about a drama
yeah.
used to scare me.
Yeah.
Senseless. But there's something great.
Where all those coins and pen tops go. Both Aisling and Sean in The Borrowers on Boxing Day, 7 o'clock, BBC One, and Aisling is also currently starring in Noises Off at the Old Vic.
Just a few minutes' time, get you in the mood for...
You thought today's was catastrophic, tomorrow's, honestly.
It gets a bit messy. Paul Hollywood loves it, doesn't he?
Doesn't he?
Loves it. He just plays with those moments, drags them out.
He played with us, didn't he? Like a cat with
Keeps you on
mice.
your toes.
You've been
thinking of that from us this morning. We're back here tomorrow. Christmas Eve breakfast, of course. We'll have a special guide to what's on television over the Christmas holidays.
And, of course, we will reveal who won our very own breakfast bake-off competition. But now we're going to leave you with the JD Singers from John Donne Primary School in Peckham in South London, who have come in this morning to sing for us. And here is Silent Night. Have a good day.